The ghetto. The ghetto. Ugh. Okay. Gosh, let me just get situated. Give me just 1 second. I started the video too early, but here we are. Oh my gosh. And I don't know where these headphones came from, but this is what I'm using today. What? It's okay. Welcome back to Caffeine and Confessions, everybody. I don't know if this mic is working. I don't know if anything's working. I think this camera's tilted a little bit, but we're fine. We're just gonna roll with it. Guys, gosh, it's been a good week. I'm not gonna tell you why, but it's been a good week. And you know what's even better is on the 22nd, I will be going on a hike, and I'm so hyped. If you know me, you know I love to freaking hike with some good music and some good friends. Preferably waterfall hikes. If not, I just want to go on a hike that's all day backpacking, crazy, when you get home you literally can't move the next day. That's my type of hike. But yeah, let's go. Blue Sour Patch freaking energy drink, of course, again, as always, guys. And welcome back to Caffeine and Confessions. So if you follow my TikTok account, you'll know that my dad just took away all of our TVs, and this is why. So the other night we were on the couch, and I was watching this show, and I had to explain the show to him 5 million times, because every time we sit down, he falls asleep within the first 5 minutes. So I was like, there's no point in telling him what's going on anymore, because he just falls asleep anyways. So he gets on the couch, and he's like, what's going on? And he asked me one of the most basic questions about the show, and I've literally told him the same answer 5 trillion times. So I was like, I'm not answering. I gave him sass, and I was like, I'm not answering that. Ask mom. I've told her too. They always ask me questions. They can never pay attention to the shows, and I'm like, I am fully invested in the show. I've been watching it for a long time. So if you have any questions, I've answered them for mom. I've answered them from you. You've sat here and watched it every night with me, yet you still don't know what's going on. I'm tired of telling you what's going on, and you guys are interrupting me every second of the show. I can't enjoy it because you have so many questions. So I got pissed, and then he was like, you're disrespectful, da 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 da. And then I got pissed even more, and then I was like, I'm going in my room. I don't even care to watch this anymore. He was like, good, you're being a brat, blah blah blah, whatever. I was like, okay, I'm being a brat, whatever. So I go in my room. I'm watching YouTube. Next morning, I go to the gym. I come home. The TVs are on. And he says, because we can't agree on a show or something, we can't be peaceful while watching a show. He says we have to start arguments. So I think that's a little bit far, but let me know what y'all think. So now I do not have TV. I have my computer, my computer, which is fine. I can use that, but no TV for me. How am I gonna watch the new Love is Blind episode? How am I gonna fish Severance? How? And that was the show we were watching. We were watching Severance. So, and he was so lost. He was like, wait, do they have 2 different bodies, or is that one body? I'm like, dude, you learned this within the first 2 episodes. So that is why I didn't explain. Okay, I haven't really talked about this topic because I kind of just put that side of my life out of my head, because low-key, this is not fun for me. And what I'm talking about, this part of my life, is called my tennis grind story. That's what we're gonna call it. I was on the grind for about 4 or 5 years. Legit on the grind, guys. Didn't have many friends, didn't go to school, just tennis. Was I a loser? No, I was actually freaking cool. No one else was doing this. Please. But also, it was not good. I don't recommend for anyone doing sports. Anyone planning on doing a sport, taking it this seriously, it's not worth it. Okay. if I went through everything from this, I literally wouldn't have enough time though. So, and like I said, like I just blocked out a lot of it. So it's hard for me to remember a lot of the details. And I haven't really talked to it. Like, I low-key should be talking to a therapist about this. But that's what you guys are here for. So here we are. And so, okay, so we're going to start from the beginning. This might take a while. This might be the whole episode. We don't know. I started playing tennis when I was 7 or 6. And my dad got me into it. And we all, like, had to play a sport growing up. And I just decided to choose tennis because I don't know. Like, I literally didn't play that many sports, but I just stuck with this. I was like, like I have to pick one. I might as well do this because I've been doing it for a while. But I hadn't played tournaments. Like, I was playing, like, recreational for a long time. I didn't start playing tournaments until the year before my freshman year of high school is when I actually started putting in the work. I had a personal trainer. I was going to group sessions every day. Yada, yada, hitting with people. But yeah, started grinding the tournaments before freshman year. Then I ended up making varsity every year of my high school, but it's not that impressive, guys, because Utah, there aren't a lot of tennis players, and it's low-key a dying sport, so not that impressive. But, like, I'll take the credit for me if you want to give it to me, but, like, I'll take I don't know what I just said. Moving on. So basically, I didn't start really grinding and getting like set to go to college and stuff until my sophomore year. After I was on the freshman team, after my sophomore year. So I had won state in doubles my sophomore year, and then my dad was like, "Well, do you want to play in college? What are you gonna do with it?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll go play in college. Like, whatever. I've just been doing this, so like I might as well." I don't know why. I just said yeah. So he got me like a coach. We had a whole setup of my every day was planned out. Every day of the week was planned out. Like Mondays, I was going to group, hitting on the ball machine for 2 hours, going to the gym, going to my second group, and then basically doing my homework in between my training. And then like every day of the week, it was basically like that. It was I wake up, hit on the ball machine, go hit with someone, go to group, go home, go to the gym, go to bed, do my homework, whatever. Repeat. I did this for like 4 years. Sophomore, wait, I didn't do this for 4 years. This schedule I didn't do for 4 years. I did it for junior, senior. No, I did do it for 4 years. Never mind. I just lied. More like 3.5. But I started developing OCD because of this schedule, and OCD runs my family like max to the max. Everyone in my family has it, which is super unfortunate because everyone has it in their own ways. For me, anorexia came with it. For my sister, it's like cleanliness. My mom, it was, I think I don't know how it played into her. I think it was just controlling situations. But literally every girl on my side of the family, like, or on my mom's side, like, has it. So it was really like bad. So let's get into it. If someone would cancel a hitting session with me, say the person couldn't hit anymore, and then I couldn't find another one to hit with, so I wasn't getting my 6 to 8 hours of practice every day, I would have full-blown meltdowns. Like, you guys are going to think I'm actually insane, but I was, because I had it so bad. I would just scream and just, like, lock my door, scream at everyone, don't talk to me, I can't, like, I'm not going to go to college, I'm not going to, like, be able to play, da-da-da-da-da. And all this, like, this schedule that I had set up for myself, if it wasn't done exactly every single day, I felt like shit about myself. Like, I was basically like I wanted to die. So something was wrong with me, but it's okay. It's okay. And okay, so what was my practice like and what was my schedule like? Okay, I kind of went over my schedule. My practice, I kind of went over my practice, but like, guys, this is how OCD I was. If I was going on a trip and we were leaving that day, I would wake up at 4 a.m. to go hit on the ball machine before we left and go to the gym because I did not want to miss a day of tennis. And while we were on vacation, every freaking day I'm stressing about it and I'm going to the gym or I'm doing runs or I'm doing something. I could never take a rest day. I basically my body was hurting all the time. There wasn't a time where I was like not sore because I was overworking so much and not eating enough because, okay, so this is another side of it. I was anorexic for most of it because I wanted to be like the picture perfect tennis star, like eats super clean, is really thin, fast, like all these things. And that basically led to me under eating. And then also when I was under eating, I like started caring about what I looked like, so that didn't help. And then it was like a mix of everything. It was like I wanted to be this perfect tennis player with the perfect body, and then also like I was worried about how I look and how I perform. And I would pass out a lot of the time. I'd go to the bathroom, I'd throw up because I wasn't eating enough, and I was just like running or training so hard that like my body couldn't handle it. And in St. George, it would get like in the summers, it's 120, right? We don't have indoor courts. So I was playing on these like hot courts, reflective courts in 120 degrees. So I was dying, basically. I was torturing myself for the last 4 years. And I don't know. I was really isolated during the time too because the fact that I didn't have friends made me like push myself harder. I was like, I'm going to show everyone. I'm going to like, I'm missing out on all these fun things because I'm more dedicated than everyone. I basically thought I was low-key better than everyone, which like, I mean, I'm doing more than literally everyone my age. I was like, how was I not supposed to feel like that? Like, I was missing out on all these like hangouts and going to go do stuff and parties and all this stuff. Like, I literally didn't have any high school experiences because I was just on the grind so much. I also did have a boyfriend during this time, so that didn't help because it was like when I did like have time to hang out, it was just going to be with him. So, and we weren't really going out to do stuff. It was more just like hang out at his house or like, I don't know. Like, I went to dances, but that's about it for the high school experience. And I guess you could say like being on the team was also part of the experience, but I was so locked in on myself. I hardly remember like our tennis team. Like, this is sad to say because like lots of girls had really good experiences, and like I know I don't want to make anyone feel bad by saying this, but I literally was so focused on myself. I don't remember like most of everything. Like, all the good moments I had during tennis are just like blocked out because like I was not even there. Like, I was so worried about my match the next day or how I was going to perform or like my routine. I came up with like routines in between my matches. Like, the day before match day, I'd like carb load, and then like I was so worried about beating all these players, all this stuff, raising my UTR. It was always, so UTR is like tennis rating. So once you beat someone higher than your rating, then your rating goes up. So I was so worried with all of these things that it just, I don't know, like I don't even remember like being really on the team and like having the team experiences because I was just in my own world, especially with like the OCD and all my eating stuff. Like, most of the banquets, I was like really picky on like what I was eating because I was just like, this is unhealthy food. I was so OCD about literally everything I did. Wait, why is my neck vein low-key like popping off right now? Okay. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm trying to think of other things. Yeah, like it was cold outside. Like, it gets cold in St. George as well during the winters. It's like 30s to 50s, right? But we don't get snow because there's no moisture there. But like my hands were cracking. I had super glued my thumb shut multiple times, and it would just like burst out bleeding when I'd go hit because my like I still have like pretty good calluses from it, but like my hands were just torn up in the winter, and I would wrap my feet. My feet were always bleeding from like rubbing on my shoes. Because it's just so dry there during the winter that like you literally can't prevent it. So I just remember having to like switch my grip out every hitting session because there was so much blood all over it. And then like I had a lot of injuries from not eating enough and playing that much too. Like, I sprained my ankle a couple times. My shoulders were like out of place for a minute because of like over serving. I had a lot of like elbow issues from overuse, forearms, hand issues. I'm trying to think. what else? Back, like center of my back was like messed up for a little bit. Like this was during, I think, my region before we went to state. I couldn't even raise my arm because it hurt so bad. I was like, and all of my training is just ridiculous. I don't know. People would tell me all the time that, like, London, you're overdoing it. This isn't benefiting you anymore. But it was almost like, you don't get it. Like, I low-key was a narcissist. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, you don't get it. Like, I'm gonna go pro. I'm gonna go to college. You're saying this stuff because you don't have like the mentality I do. Basically just saying everyone else is wrong. I'm right because I'm doing all this stuff and you guys aren't doing any of it. So you can't talk to me, right? Like you can't tell me what to do when I'm the one putting in the work and like doing all this stuff. Because I was running too. I was running like 3 miles every morning, going to the gym, hitting all muscle groups. I couldn't even work out my legs sometimes because they were so exhausted from tennis that when I would like sit down or like say I had my knee up like this, I'd have ripples through my legs because they were so like all my muscles were so torn. You could see them through my skin. That sounds crazy, but I'm being for real. And so lots of the time when I was at the gym, I was just doing upper body, but I like, oh dude, I just can't even, like, there's so much to it. I can't even put it all in here, but I'm trying to think of more things that I did while I was at this time. Basically, yeah, I just, like, everyone asked me, go do, like, can you go do this? I'm like, no, I have practice, like, all the time, every single day. Um, and yeah, I don't know what else I could put into this, like, and it's hard to talk about, I think, because everything didn't work out for me. And obviously that was the way it's supposed to go, but it still hurts to like think about, even though I don't even care. Like I don't even want to play tennis in college anymore, all this stuff, but it still hurts to think about like everything I went through and everything I did just for it not to work out. And I think I've talked about that a lot, like goals not working out and how we have to move on and be okay with it and learn from it. And I have, but it's still like, it doesn't like hurt any less, you know? So that's why I haven't really talked about it. But I don't know. I wish that someone had been like going through the same thing as me, so like I could hear other people like relating in the same way. And I know people like relate in different ways. They're like, oh, I struggled with anorexia, I struggled with stuff like that. But it's like, I had it so bad for so long, and I just was so good at hiding it. And like, I don't know. Like if I showed you guys pictures of what I looked like my senior year versus now, you'd be like, what the heck? My legs were like this small. I was like literally shredded to the max, but I was so tiny and like so like, I did not look healthy. And I think, yeah, I did tell you guys, like, it didn't work out at state. I lost at state, and then, like, my whole world came crashing down because I was like, my UTR rating's not high enough, and this was going to be, like, what made the colleges look at me if I won state. But I was just not in the mental state still because I hated it so much from being, there's no way you can like something when you're doing it that often every day for that long and just being in pain all the time. There was no way I was going to like it. And the person that ended up winning state obviously was not doing as much as me probably, but like actually loved the sport. And that was the difference. I did not like it. Yet I wanted it so bad that I didn't care how happy I was doing it. So that's like another lesson learned is like, if you're not happy doing something, like why are you wasting your life? You could die tomorrow. So I think about that a lot too. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else like I did, because I wish I could remember, but there's a lot to it, like the OCD and stuff. Like, oh dude, it was so bad. Like, go on a trip, I'd have meltdowns if I wasn't able to practice or go to the gym or like do anything. I came back and I would like came back to practice and feel like I was shit and like I couldn't play even though I took like 3 days off. Like sometimes it'd be like a couple days off. If I took more than 1 day off, I thought I sucked. And so I don't know. I guess that's all I wanted to say is just like that's the story. That's like the basics of it. I don't really want to get into everything else. It was traumatizing. I don't really remember a lot of it, but you get the gist. I was just in pain all the time, and yeah, and it didn't work out. So don't do that to yourself, guys. Uh, okay, let's move on. I'm glad that that didn't take up the whole episode because I wanted to tell you guys this story, and it's a funny story, so it's gonna not be as depressing. Um, so I don't know if I've told this story before. I don't remember, but I was at this park with my ex, and we were fishing. I was taking him to go fish, and I don't think he had fished before this, or maybe he did when he was really young, but I was like showing him how to do the stuff. And it's a really small pond, right? But he casted his thing way too far for how small it was. And it landed in a duck's fucking neck, guys. And I start laughing. I'm laughing my head off. I'm like, dude, you just caught a duck, bro. What are you gonna do? Oh my gosh. And I was like, dude, you need to go, like, you need to get it out of the duck's neck. You have to go, like, save it. Because it was in pain. It was, like, trying to get it off and it was bleeding. I was like, oh shit. And he was so mad. He was so mad. He's like, London, you can't, like, you gotta help. London, like, this is not funny. He was, like, saying, this isn't funny. This isn't funny. Like, what am I gonna do? But I was laughing my head off. So we go over there. And I'm like, you gotta get in the water, you gotta get the hook out of the duck's neck. And he was like, I can't, I'm not doing it. And I was like, yes, you do, like, just go in there and get it. Like, you can just even tug on it a little bit. So I had to go in the water because he wouldn't, and I had to get the thing out of the duck's neck. He was stressed the entire time, but I thought that was the funniest shit of my life. And I probably told the story pretty lame, but I still think it's so funny when I think back on that and him just like being so stressed and me laughing. It's so funny. But the duck survived, guys. We saw it there the next week and there's just like blood on its feathers, but he was still alive, so that duck's okay. Good story though. Good vibes. Good thing to look back on, but just so funny. And you know what was crazy is that summer. See, I always have these random fishing stories, guys. Like what? Like where are these? I don't know why I have so many interesting stories when I go fishing. But that summer they stocked that like the tiniest pond with a ton of freaking trout, and they were huge. They were like this big. Well, that's not that big, but like huge for that tiny pond. And we were like, what the heck? Okay, I forget some of you guys are just listening. It was probably like a foot or longer. Like that's big for how small that little lake was. So I was going like every day. I'd go alone. I'd just sit there and just catch them. It's so fun, even though I'd like know I was gonna get like I don't know. Someone tell me why I like fishing so much. It's fine. Okay, but serious note. Okay, this is past. We're past the stories. Here we are back in the conversation. AI is low-key taking our jobs, guys. Like, I'm scared. I don't know what I'm gonna go to school for anymore. That's why I'm like, I should just do summer sales because, like, I don't know. I just feel like that makes good money and I could stick to that. But also, like I've told you guys, like, I don't know if I'm gonna get raped or what. But, what? Who said that? But I don't know. Like, what are we supposed to go to college for anymore? Because if you think about it, if it's not in the doctor's field type thing, there's no point because everything is getting taken by AI, and in the future, it'll do the stuff. Like, I wanted to do graphic design. Nope, gone. I wanted to do, well, I'm doing newscasting, like broadcasting and journalism right now, but like, bro, like, we get all our news from apps and stuff now. Who knows if we're gonna still have that on the TV. I wanted to do nutrition, but it's like, ask AI to write you a nutrition plan. Why do you need someone to write you one? You don't need that anymore. I was gonna do, I'm trying to think of all the things. I don't know. Like, we just have machines and everything to do our jobs. I'm just like, what are we even doing anymore? Soon it's like everything's going to be done for us. Like, how are we going to make money? So, I don't know, just a thought that we might all die soon because there's no more jobs for us. Um and then we're going to end on a random thought. Guys, why do people order drinks with cold foam and then ask for a straw? This boggles my brain. Um, what? Are like they don't want to sip the cold foam, or like are they just trying to mix the cold foam in it? There's like no point. You're supposed to like sip it, get the drink with the cold foam. You know what I mean? That's how you like actually enjoy the drink. But if you just stick a straw in it, what's the point? Just get the cold foam like mixed into oh my gosh, my nose is itchy. Just get the cold foam mixed in the drink. Whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say with that. I don't know. Well, that was a mouthful. Glad you guys could join me. I am kind of done, and I don't really know what I swear this camera tilted even more throughout this video. It's fine, though, because you guys just listen to me. I don't really know what I'm going to talk about on Thursday, or next Monday, because, like, I don't know. Why am I ranting to you guys? I'm kind of done. Also, I might have cancer. Like, this freckle just showed up on the tip of my nose. Tell me what that is. Like, it's so prominent. Like, I have lots of freckles, but this one, it's like, it's just there. I might. So, everybody, live your lives because you might die tomorrow. I might die tomorrow from my nose cancer, but we will see. And if I do, then you guys won't have a video on Monday. But if I don't, I'll be back. So, have a splendid day. Get an energy drink, preferably this one because it's really good. And I don't know, do what you love. So, yeah. Goodbye, guys.